In the dusty lanes of Jaipur, where the scent of marigolds mixed with the aroma of street chai, lived Ayaan Sharma, a quiet, soft-spoken artist whose world revolved around color canvas and the tales his grandmother used to tell him under the neem tree. Ayaan wasn't born with privilege. His family owned a small shop near Johari Bazaar that sold miniature paintings and hand-carved wooden trinkets. Her father, Rajiv Kapoor, was a Delhi-based industrialist, but his ancestral Haveli was being restored in Jaipur. Meera's eyes met his for the first time, dark, curious, and carrying the weight of 1,000 thoughts. She asked, her voice like silk against stone. She was dressed simply in a pale blue kurta, her long braid resting over one shoulder. "We need someone who understands fresco art. I saw your work in the Heritage Journal." She stayed for an hour, then 2. They spoke of architecture, of forgotten temples, and dying art forms. She asked intelligent questions, and he found himself answering more than he ever had to anyone else. Her laughter came in bursts, like the peals of temple bells during Aarti. But to Ayaan, she looked like she had stepped out of a poem. And Meera, a final-year architecture student from Mumbai, had come to oversee the project. The restoration architect had recommended local artists to consult for traditional designs. That's how she ended up walking into Ayaan's shop. He worked there during the day, but every night he would retreat to the small room above the shop and paint until dawn. It was during one such afternoon, golden with early summer sun and filled with the clang of rickshaws and temple bells, that he saw her. Meera Kapoor stepped out of a sleek black car in a swirl of chiffon and purpose. Ayaan was dabbing vermilion on a Rajasthani royal portrait when he heard the wind chimes tinkle and looked up. "Are you Ayaan Sharma?" He nodded, unsure whether to put down his brush or just keep painting, afraid that if he blinked, she might vanish like the mist in Pushkar mornings. "I'm Meera Kapoor. I'm working on the restoration of the Copper Haveli and civil lines." Ayaan didn't say much, just offered her chai and showed her around. In the weeks that followed, Meera became a regular presence at the shop. Sometimes she'd bring her sketchbooks, sitting across from Ayaan, humming old Lata Mangeshkar tunes while drawing arches and window jalas. One was of a faceless woman under a bougainvillea tree, with anklets on her bare feet and wind in her hair. Meera stared at it for a long time. "She never shows her face in my dreams," he replied. They visited abandoned stepwells, palaces in ruins, temples crumbling with time, and old Mughal gardens where peacocks danced at dusk. Their conversations flowed easily about poetry, about loss, about the city that held 1,000 years of stories between its sandstone walls. Ayaan showed her his secret collection portraits he never sold. "Who is she?" she asked. "I don't know. These weeks with you have been like finding a forgotten raga in the middle of a storm. I don't know what it means yet, but I know I will carry it with me always." Meera didn't say anything, but her heart thudded harder. Meera didn't return his calls. He didn't push. He wasn't the kind to chase something not meant for him. Their days melted into evenings like watercolor bleeding on wet paper. They never spoke of love, but it lingered in the air between them like unsaid verses of a ghazal. When Meera's hand brushed his while passing a brush, neither of them pulled away. When he tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear during a sandstorm at Nahargarh Fort, she didn't flinch. But they remained silent about what their eyes confessed every day. Then, one evening, everything shifted. Meera was called back to Mumbai suddenly. Her father had suffered a minor heart attack. She left a handwritten note with the shop's caretaker, folded neatly and tucked into a book of Ghalib's poetry. "Dear Ayaan, I'm leaving today. I wish I could have told you in person, but I didn't know how. Meera." He read it again the next morning, then folded it and placed it inside his paint box. For the first time in years, he couldn't paint. The canvas stayed blank, mocking him. Ayaan read it 10 times. Weeks passed. The shop continued. The tourists came and went, but a part of Ayaan was gone. tucked away in the lines of that note. 3 months later, Meera returned, but not alone. She was engaged. Her fiancé Arjun Kanal was a suave investment banker based in London. The engagement had been arranged soon after her return to Mumbai. Her father, wanting to see her settled, had pushed for it, and Meera, overwhelmed by guilt and duty, had agreed. She came to the shop one last time, alone. Ayaan was fixing an old mural when he saw her. She looked different, beautiful, yes, but distant, as if she had wrapped herself in silk and steel to keep the world out. Her eyes searched his face for anger, but Ayaan only offered her silence. "I wanted to tell you earlier," she whispered. "I know," he said, brushing invisible dust from a half-painted lotus. "I didn't think it would happen so fast." "It's all right." "No, it's not." They stood in silence. Outside, the temple bell rang. Inside, hearts broke quietly. "I saw the painting again," Meera said suddenly. "The faceless woman." Ayaan finally looked up. "She has my anklets," Meera said. Ayaan nodded. "I dreamed of her the night you left." She didn't know what to say to that. "I should go," she whispered. "Meera." She turned, tears glistening. "Don't marry him," Ayaan said softly. And just like that, the dam broke. Just stood there, holding each other like the world outside didn't exist. Meera stepped forward, crushed the distance between them, and threw her arms around him. They didn't kiss. They didn't say more. But she did leave that night. The wedding was called off 2 weeks later. Rumors swirled in Delhi's elite circles, but Meera didn't care. Her father, though hurt, finally saw the truth in her eyes that love wasn't something you arranged. It was something that happened between moments when no one was looking. Meera moved to Jaipur. One morning, she showed up at his shop again, dressed in white linen, with that same old sketchbook in hand. She didn't tell Ayaan immediately. Instead, she quietly joined the local heritage trust and began working on a community project to revive traditional craft schools. "I'm looking for a fresco artist," she said, smiling. "And I'm looking for a woman with anklets who refuses to show her face," he replied. Ayaan knelt and offered her a hand-painted wooden box. This time they laughed, really laughed. That evening, under a canopy of fairy lights strung between 2 ancient trees, surrounded by old friends, artists, and chai cups that never emptied, inside was not a ring but a tiny painting. Her real face, her real smile, her eyes as he saw them, not the way a camera might, but the way a heart remembers. It was her. Meera looked up, her eyes wet. "Say yes," Ayaan whispered. "Yes," she said. And somewhere, beneath the quiet sky of an old city, 2 souls who had found each other across art, silence, and centuries of tradition finally found home in each other.